the funding, while the startup ecosystem was impacted by the COVID-19 crisis and the overall economic uncertainty, the restrictions put on direct investments, into India, foreign direct investments into India, may be the immediate reason for the freeze or the slowdown in funding. This impacted small and large, tech firms alike. Even as the economic situation worsened, some startups did, however, manage to raise significant funding during this year. This is one year wherein till about October, we had largest number of unicorns that have come out of India, and this is going to get better. Um, as far as the funding agencies are concerned about the depth of opportunities in the region, while they're undergoing a lot of massive technological or technology-led transformations, the startup ecosystem in India has come a very long way in the last few years. The markets are getting deeper. The crop of founders and their achievements has become more impressive each year. Um, while all of this is happening, as far as the investment deals are concerned, they have not been as bad as it was perceived to be. And as the economy now slowly and gradually opens up, and it's getting better day by day, and the recent reports by not just FICCI but also by many organizations is showing that the economic situation is improving, you will see a lot more of funding coming by way of the startups. We are looking at a situation where Indian startups probably adjusted the best when it came to the pandemic, and they've adopted the new normal quite quickly. And funding agencies at this point are raising the stakes in organizations like these, which have made the most, have been flexible in their working, have looked at the future better as compared to some other companies. There was an anticipated lack of exit opportunities that added to the difficulties of VCs replenishing their coffers, encouraging them to be more frugal with the current reserves that they had. And hence, there was a bit of a slowdown that we saw. But that's not something that will last longer. We've seen quite a few startups getting better investments from the same existing investors. There are new investors also looking at the market. The traditional investors from America, Singapore have continued investing, but probably we are also looking at a lot of geopolitical things happening across the globe, which is also impacting the slowdown or the slowdown in the current month-on-month analysis. So with the results of the US elections probably anytime soon, and a lot of other things looking up, we are expecting that these numbers might get better. September saw 350 million plus deals. Byju's, Dream11, Unacademy, they're all getting announced. The mega deals are being announced in October, where smaller ticket size, and probably in the non-edtech sector. The fact that SoftBank has registered its first new investment in India for the year in form of Unacademy. This was again announced in September itself. There will be a booster dose that will come in. Some of the top VC investments in October included Fresh to Home, which raised about 106 million, Razorpay, which turned unicorn with 100 million investment, and so on. There are a lot of these happening, and the ticket sizes have been from anything from 100 million plus 150 million, as I said, in 3 deals in September, to smaller deals where they've raised about $20 million. So these are going up. From a sector perspective, after the mega funding of the leaders in the B2C edtech segment, it would not be a surprise if we see some slowing down in the mega deals in the space towards the year end. This would probably be positive for other sectors that we are awaiting a fresh look from investors post the COVID lockdowns. I've been saying this in quite some, on my columns for the last few months now, that sectors like edtech, health tech, SaaS, and IoT or AR, VR driven manufacturing. Because what will happen is the new normal, as we now been talking about, we will have to look at less human contact and more of intervention of tech and machines in our day-to-day operations when it comes to B2B or B2C. So even fintech, for that matter, one of the key reasons why probably Indian markets are doing much better is the whole digital banking and the Digital India campaign that was started probably a few years back, which is now showing results, with more people having plastic cards or money that they're using, and more fintech companies that are existing in India. So I think there is an opportunity there as well. These sectors are definitely the sectors that would be looked at more closely. Again, sectors like hospitality, food tech, they might at this point look at being on the negative, but then they might soon be back with opening up of the economy as well. Innovative products and business models would be the key for startups to survive beyond this or be more resilient. You'll need a steady flow of funds, of course, but and this especially for the early stage startups. To turn those ideas into reality, they would need a lot of funding. Funding is crucial for improving any technology, be it hiring people or launching a comprehensive market strategy to get a foothold in the market. However, sourcing enough money to start a new venture would be a challenge, and we might want to look at innovative models of how do we get more startups to get on to the market and become going from ideas to reality. So that's a key challenge, and probably a government and a lot of VC funds would have a role to play in it. From be it jewelry to dog food to SaaS, name the product, startups are popping up virtually in every field around the world, despite the risks. As an entrepreneur, people will have to face the challenges that are coming up, because that is part of the journey. But some important points that come to my mind and that need to be kept in mind by the startups and some of the ecosystem players is: one, the business idea needs to be scalable. You are not looking at starting a venture and looking at an exit or selling it off to someone in short duration. You will have to look at being with the business for a longer duration. It also means that we'll have to look at becoming profitable, decreasing your cost quite faster as compared to doing what traditionally startups used to do. So again, as I said, without scalability, it is less likely to get investments, and hence the idea needs to be scalable faster. You will have to determine the exact amount of funds that you're seeking and the rounds that you would want to do. You can't just go on planning them at different stages. You might want to plan your funding stages right in advance and also communicate it better to your investors for them to gain confidence in you. Also looking at the right funding partner or funding option. There is a wide range, ranging from angel investments to bank loan to VCs. Now in India, of course, you have the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange having opportunities for startups to list themselves, especially the scaled up startups to list themselves at the at the exchanges as well. So again, they might have to be very careful about which funding options are they looking at, and that might help them to be more resilient going forward.